All right, so selfishly, we jumped ahead a little bit. I know technically this should be the number 6 slot for mock drafts because I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but I have a draft coming up in a matter of hours where I have the 11th pick, and I haven't done an 11th pick mock in a really long time. So we're going to do number 11 next, and you guys are just going to have to be okay with the fact that we went out of order for this one because the other picks I have today are a weird league where it doesn't matter. There's no amount of mocks I could do that would prep me for that one. And a number 1. I managed to land a number 1. So that's very cool. I have a Nikola Jokic team coming up later on tonight, and I've already mocked that one, and I already know what I'm doing. But 11th is a little bit different, and that's what we're going to be doing in this program. Slot 11 mock draft time with me, Dan Bespris, here on Old Man Squad Fantasy Basketball, presented by FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. You can find me on social media at Dan Bespris. I remain in awe of Shohei Ohtani as I settle in to do this show with you guys. Old Man Squad is the feed if you want to find it over there. But again, Dan Bespris is the one you should be following, especially as we get close to the start of the season, where I will be doing a ridiculous amount of crap for free on social media. Also, if you guys want to know my buckets, the buckets show is about to drop, but I also did a thread on Twitter. It's also available on the in the show description. That's got the link to the Google Sheet that I have all of my free stuff in. It's got my ranks for free. Everything is free. Everything I do is completely free. All I'm trying to do is get the advertising dollars from the podcast, plus my $1 Patreon that entitles you to absolutely nothing. If I can get all of that to equal what we pay in childcare, which, by the way, not that much these days. My kids are both in public school now. So we're talking about nannies and like activities, then I'm good. We're set. I can do this for free forever. I don't need to jack up any rates or anything. I'm not going to lock you in any long-term deals. That's it. That is patreon.com/oldmansquad. Again, at Dan Bespris on Twitter, and just subscribe to everything we're doing over here. Mock draft has begun. It has begun. You guys know what to expect at the beginning. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this window so you guys can see what's going on. I am curious to see who falls to me at 11. I have an idea of who I think is going to be there, but also, you guys know I'm not a big Trae Young guy. So if that's what I'm staring down the barrel of, I probably jump over him and do something else while also admitting that a Trae Young build in head-to-head is workable. First 6 are exactly what you'd expect. I'd argue first 7 are kind of what you'd expect. Jokic, Shea, Wemby, you can flip-flop those if you want. Luka, Giannis, Cade, Anthony Davis. This team showed up for the mock draft and then left. So I don't know if they set their ranks or whatever, but I'm assuming that Anthony Edwards is going to come off the board here at 8, and Tolga will be placed into auto pick in the not too distant future. This is new and interesting for me because, like, working my way down the board, everything kind of made sense. Now jumping down to 11, I'm not sure that I'm ready for this. I've done so many mocks 1 through 5 lately that you kind of have this like pretty good idea of the players that are going to be near you there. Devin Booker goes 9. Let's see who Deep goes with at 10. I'm looking at Harden. If he gets to me at 11, that's who I'd like there. If Harden's not there, do I start to lean into sort of a goofball build? Cat goes 10. All right, so I got my guy James at 11. That's good news. Now I got 2 picks in between me and me. I bet Trae Young goes either 12 or 13. What I don't know is who the other guy is going to be. But here's what I'm also going to tell you guys. Don't force yourself into a punt immediately unless you have Giannis. So Kevin Durant and Steph Curry go 12 and 13. This has to be a Dan Bespris disciple. I can't believe, now I have to go Trae Young. A Trae Young, James Harden starting point is like, you got to do it, right? In a head-to-head draft. By the way, if this was Roto, I wouldn't do this. But head-to-head, Harden, Trae Young, that's a crazy build. I cannot believe that they let me get away with it. And my standings are never going to look great, but my team is going to be amazing at free throws and threes, pretty darn good at points, incredible at assists, solid at steals. Harden gives my team an opportunity to maybe come back in rebounds once I start adding some big men to the mix. But odds are that turnovers are going to be terrible. Also, and I know that I'm down at the bottom of the pack because I took 2 point guards, but James Harden is not that bad at blocking shots either. So this is an amazing start. I can't believe that I got a Trae Young, James Harden team. The reason well, one of the reasons that I hate building the Trae Young build is that you get jammed into an 8-cat team effectively because you're punting turnovers. Trae was number 15 last year. James Harden was number 6, but Harden at least was a second rounder even without a punt. If you're punting turnovers and field goal percent, which it kind of feels like is what I've just been mushed into, then Harden was number 4, Trae was number 7, and the only guys ahead of those dudes were Dame, who's out, Luka, who's obviously gone, Shea, Jokic, and Wemby up at the top of the board. But the beauty part is the reason that I hate the guard build is it's so hard to catch up with Wemby in that particular construction unless you can somehow get 2 brilliant fits at the beginning. You just don't generally get both of these guys. Like you can, Cade, Harden, and Trae are the 2 guys that everybody's looking at for this type of build. Maxey would also make a lot of sense, although I do think his steals come down. And somehow I got 2 of them. So again, normally not a thing I expect to pull off. Normally not I'm not a Trae Young guy. And you saw that's why I took Harden at 11. Because I was like, well, Harden I can build around even if I don't do the guard build. But then Trae was still there at 14. I thought for sure I was going to be leaning into like a Kevin Durant or a Tyrese Maxey at that point. But they left me Trae, so I did it. So again, don't get me wrong, not a Trae guy, but if you guys look at my buckets, he's in bucket 6 for me, which is pick 13, 14, and he was still there for a head-to-head only. Roto, skip him. Skip Trae and Roto. Just pick a guy that's going to be ranked higher in 9-cat, and then you don't have to worry about your build. All right, so now back to the task here. What do I do next? This is where things start to get a little bit hairy because there's this innate, this hard, intense desire to target guys that are bad at shooting. But you don't have to anymore. And you don't have to take a guy who's bad at turnovers. I have such a strong start in threes, scoring, assists, and free throw percent that I can now work on trying to build up some of the other things. Like a steals guy would be really useful here. A rebounding guy would be useful here. Someone who maybe does both of those would be useful here. Things to consider. Bam Adebayo as a center would actually be really useful here. He just got drafted at 27, so that's not happening. But a center that can score and get steals would be useful in this range. A center that scores and gets blocks would be useful in this range if I don't want to give up on all the other categories. So that's something to think about here. Probably don't take a low-scoring center yet. Probably shy away from low-scoring guys in general with these next couple of picks because that's a category we want to make sure we compete in, and it could kind of tip both ways depending on what Harden does this year. So let's try to make sure we don't let it tip both ways. That's the only thing that I would avoid here in the next couple of picks. Pascal Siakam would be amazing if he got to me at 35. I don't think he will, so let's come up with some backup plans there. JJJ, also a great choice here. Trey Murphy, like from a fit standpoint, not super concerned, but he's going to be a very well-rounded basketball player, so I like him there. There goes JJJ, Jaylen Brown off the board as well. Siakam somehow still hanging on. I don't think I should do Jamal Murray, but I would definitely do him if I didn't have 2 guards, and I have to put him on my board because he shouldn't still be there at 35. But I got to get one more guy on my list, and that other one's going to be Austin Reeves. Jamal Murray's gone. Siakam's still there. That's remarkable. Denny Avdia, I don't think I would go that far yet. Paolo goes 34th. Wow, they left me Siakam at 35. It's a no-brainer in this build, and it's kind of a no-brainer in any build, but now I got a center-eligible dude who scores a ton. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Gets rebounds, too. So, again, not dead there. And I've got such a head start in free throw shooting that it doesn't matter that Siakam's not that great at it. Don't care. There goes Reeves at 36, by the way. So that was the fear is, does he not make it back to me? Dyson Daniels go 37. Just to talk this one through, I already have Avdia in my queue as a guy I would probably take here, but Trey Murphy is very interesting in this spot. Bane, a little early on Bane, I guess. Kawhi would make a lot more sense in a different team build. So I think it's Avdia or Trey Murphy for me at this spot. or if you want to get real nuts and go Cooper Flag early, you could. But I'll go Avdia. Let's have some fun. Also, the free throw thing, troubling, but I love the well-roundedness. Bad turnover guy. 8-cat Avdia is going to get a big old bounce. So awesome. A steal, half a block, a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists, a lot of scoring, some threes. I think I'm building an outstanding head-to-head team so far. I don't know what Yahoo thinks of my roster construction. I probably need to make sure that my free throw shooting doesn't get any worse because I took, power forward and a center that are not great, but do get there. But my scoring is good. Apparently, I'm not keeping up with auto-drafting Tolga. Rebounds are good. Assists are great. Steals are solid. Blocks are on the low side. Womp womp. I didn't do additional blocks. Turnovers are also pretty bad. Pretty bad. But I think I think things are going quite well for this team right now. I don't know that this is going to perfectly parallel the team I make in my head-to-head league coming up later on today, because I doubt that Trae Young gets to me at 14. I'm more likely to build a well-rounded team in that one. But again, the opportunity presented itself. So what are you going to do? We lost another team here to auto picks. That sucks. Come on, man. You guys are doing this thing. Let's see where it goes. Don't be a butthole. Well, if we do have 2 or 3 auto picks, we'll only go, 8 to 10 rounds deep on this mock. Maybe people are mad that I got all these guys that are great fits for my team. Come on back, guys. The water's fine. This show's getting posted regardless. Who did I just draft? Avdia. 35.5 is the season win total number over at FanDuel for the Portland Trail Blazers. I think they're going to be kind of good this year. You guys think they're going to be kind of good? I'll go over that one. Fade the public, baby. That's at FanDuel. Sportsbook.fanduel.com if you're looking for it, or just search for the FanDuel Sportsbook. It's very easy to find. One thing that I kind of like about drafting from the 11 spot on a live taped mock draft is that I have a lot of time to talk in between picks. But I don't want, the other problem with that is you start to overthink, oh, well, I got all these guys that, don't make a ton of sense, blah, blah, blah. I got to make sure that the fit is right. Oh, what do I need to shore up? Don't do all that stuff. Just don't take the 1 or 2 guys that make no sense for your build. Don't take a punt free throw guy. That's an easy one. Don't take a center that's just rebounds and hits free throws. That would be a mistake. Especially don't take a center that just blocks shots and misses free throws, because we don't need that stuff. If you're going to take centers, take a well-rounded one, or take one that was I don't have a problem if you take Jalen Duren, because he's not that bad at the free throw line. He's not a massive shot blocker. Field goal percent, he'll score a little bit, he'll rebound a little bit, he'll pass a little bit. I'm talking about probably don't take Walker Kessler, who's going to block 3 shots a game and get 12 rebounds, but do very little else. Walker Kessler's great, but he makes no sense for your team. All right, so it's coming back around to me. Somehow Cooper Flag is still on the board at pick 55. How the hell is that possible? I didn't read off the picks in this one. A lot of choices here. Not a massive Brandon Miller guy, but he would make sense. There goes Miller and Flag. He got auto-drafted. Would he have gone anyway? I don't know. We'll never know. Vooch as a center would have made sense, although I hate Vooch this year. So no. DeAndre Ayton is going to be a good center for this build because he's going to score, and he's not a bad foul shooter, so we'll put him in the queue. I don't want to go Larry Markkinen in a head-to-head league. Not yet. Scroll down. There's a lot of stuff here we could do. Julius Randle, not a great foul shooter, but from just an overall fit standpoint in this type of punt, he makes sense. I'm worried I'm going to not get enough steals. Ayton or Randle. If we're going to make the fit play, who's going to score more between those 2 guys? I don't think I need the assists as much. We'll go DeAndre Ayton. And now our center stuff is all squared away because Siakam is center eligible as well. And now I can focus, again, more on scoring, guard stats, things of that nature. Kobe White is a great pick here. Zach LaVine would be a solid pick here. Again, you don't need to expend any money on field goal percent. So White probably makes more sense for the extra assists and the extra steals. Peyton Pritchard is not a bad choice here, but we'll go Kobe White because I think he's safer. And now it's time to lean into it. So I want to load up on scoring stats, scoring and threes and steals and more assists. I think we're good on positional flexibility, but so field goal percent is honestly better than I thought it would be, but that's because I got my centers out of the way. Free throw, I got to make sure I get that back up a little bit. Threes are good. Points are good. Rebounds are actually decent, like kind of mid-pack. So I'm competitive there. Assists are great. Steals are mid-pack. Blocks are bad. Turnovers are bad. That's the ones that you knew was coming. So what do I need to do? Well, we know the team's going to be great in assists. We know the team's going to be great in threes, and scoring is solid, and free throw is solid. But we need to lean into those. Make sure the free throw gets better. Stay high on threes. Stay high on scoring. Steals. Cannot afford to lose steals in a guard build. So that's got to be the thing we look at next. So somebody who scores, hits threes, and gets steals. It's 3 and D. Preferably with some points as well. That's probably what you're looking at almost the rest of the way here. Although, after the next round or two, then you're just going for guys that you think are going to be great. I'm not worried about the autos. I don't think it's going to change things that much because I think I'm going to draft out of order anyway. Oh, Scottie Pippen Jr. got real hurt. Not that it mattered all that much, but if you were thinking about him, this makes Ty Jerome much more interesting. All right, well, that's something to look at on the fly. So, all right, so Scottie Pippen Jr. is out for basically half the season. Woof. Rough news here right in the middle of a mock draft. Tough days are these for old Scotter Pippen Jr. What's this text message coming in? My wife and son are running a 5K this morning. Cool, man. I couldn't make it. Good for them. I don't know anybody who runs anywhere. I choose to walk. I don't have that much to talk about in between picks here. This is a goofball build for me. I don't usually lean into the punt, so I might need to do another one of these on my own that's not recorded, where I don't get a Harden Trae Young opportunity at the beginning. I don't think that's gonna happen all that often if I'm not drafting against Dan Besperson's, who everybody's avoiding Trae, and that's fine. I would too, but not if you can get that build. Remember to check the show description, everybody. That's where you can find everything. All my free stuff. Free Google Sheet, free podcasts, free Twitter, $1 Patreon. I guess that's not free, but it doesn't get you anything other than satisfaction. All right, it's coming back around to us here. Let's get ready. Jalen Green is a nice fit here if he wasn't hurt. That's a shame. Who are the other nice fit guys? Simons is a really good fit here. If he gets to me at 83, that would be swell. Cam Thomas, the punting or the tanking is going to kill me, but he is a great fit because those guys are prime punt field goal scoring types. I wish they got some steals. That's the problem there. Other guys I wish I knew how long Jalen Green was going to be out. He'd really be the guy at this spot. Rats. Benedict Mathurin, more scoring, maybe too much scoring. Alex Sarr is a good big man fit. If I actually wanted to compete in blocks, I don't know that I do. Kevin Porter Jr. down the line. All right, well, Simons, Cam Thomas, KPJ. We'll go Simons, and we'll just shore up the scoring and threes a little bit more. Try to get that free throw number back up to the tippy top of the board. See, that'll play. This thing hates my team, which I'm totally fine with because in head-to-head, to be very good at 1, 2, 3, 4, and steals now really need some help because Simons put a dent into that. I gotta get steals back up, and I gotta get rebounds back up. If I overloaded a tad, perhaps. I probably need a steals guy next instead of whoever I've got here, but man, it's hard not to do KPJ or Jalen Green or Cam Thomas because just overload and then stream steals is probably the play. Man. Yep, this is where I always get a little bit stuck on punt builds. What do I do? What do I do? How do I not take one of these three guys? All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. Screwball-ass team. I'm going to sort by steals now because I think that's the thing that's going to be a problem here. Oh, Asar Thompson wasn't gone yet? Whoops. Now he's gone. Wasn't paying attention. There goes the brain. Tumani Kamara is probably going to be gone before it gets back to me, but that's a guy I would definitely look at, and maybe I should have done something with already. Casey Wallace, great choice for steals. Herb Jones, great choice for steals. Vassell, Pajemski. Vassell's going to score a little bit too, so there's some intrigue there. DiVincenzo, 3 and D. Lots of threes and Ds. D's, threes. I don't think that's how that's supposed to go. I know Andrew Wiggins is actually a possibility here. It's unbelievable, but he actually is. We'll just go round 9, and I'll start round 10, and then we'll probably wrap this one up because we've lost a couple people to auto, which sucks. You suck. You suck, people. You're not watching this, but you suck. Boo. I boo you. Anyway, that's the problem spot right now because free throws tippy top, threes are tippy top, points are tippy top. Deep is a lot of scoring as well, but I'm not super worried about that. Rebounds have fallen off. Assists are still great. Steals definitely need work. Sort of low mid-pack, unacceptably bad. Blocks and turnovers are terrible, as you'd expect. I still think that rebounds shouldn't be completely dead. If I get 1 or 2 guys here at the end that actually get some rebounds, I should be able to compete. I've loaded up on guards through the middle part of this thing, which maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have gotten some rebounds and steals in the middle part, but I'm hopeful that enough steals guys remain when it gets back to me in a few picks that I didn't make the wrong choice there. But you know, that's the thing you're always sort of bouncing around in the back of your head. Like Bobby Portis actually makes a lot of sense with this team build, but he doesn't get steals, and I kind of have to now. So maybe I should have gotten steals with threes and scoring in the middle rounds instead of just a ton of scoring. And that would have allowed me to go get Bobby Portis as a late big man who's going to score and rebound and not a bad foul shooter. But, you know, again, fit-wise, once you get into the punt build, the fit stuff, you're thinking about it every moment, all the time. And, oh, well. And this is why I don't like to punt. I get so caught up in like the what did I miss? What did I not miss? You got to get the stuff that you know is going to be harder to get later. So like my team was good enough in threes and assists and free throw percent, whatever. You got to get the stuff that is going to be a little bit tougher. Now, if steals make it back to me, awesome. And right now it kind of looks like they might. And the fact that 2 people are auto picking isn't going to make that any harder. Although it did take my guy Devin Vassell off the board. But Kamara, like he's not going to, well, actually he might get to you at 107. I was thinking I was later than that. He might make it that far. Kamara, Cason Wallace, Herb Jones, DiVincenzo, Wiggins. These guys are all good steals dudes. I probably need to take 2 of them. So we'll go to Monty here at 107, coming back around to me. I'd like to take Bobby Portis, but I don't think I have room for him. I don't know why it doesn't put Siakam in that other center spot. Do I need another power forward? No, Kamara would be with power forward. My team build is fine. When I go, see now between Wallace, Herb Jones, and Dante DiVincenzo, what's more important here? Do I need more threes or do I need more steals? Do I want to risk any scoring loss? Probably go Herb or Cason Wallace. Not bad choices there. All right, we'll go Herb. And now, ta-da! My team is competitive in steals again. Still good in scoring. Still great in threes. Still great in free throw. Not too much loss there, but, you know, I had to load up on steals because that was a problem. I can't believe that Omar is as close to me in assists as he is. That's crazy. Now, I take the guys I'm interested in, but at this point, with the auto picks, it's not going to give a good example of who's left. So we're going to abandon ship on this one. I'm not going to worry too much about who's on the board late. If you are playing this one out, you should be looking at upside guys and fit guys. So Keegan Murray with like a 2-week stash is an upside guy. DiVincenzo is an upside guy. I would have said Dennis Schroeder as a fit guy, but now with Russell Westbrook around, I don't know if that makes any sense. Davion Mitchell is a good fit guy here. for assists and steals. I like Zach Edey if you have a lot of IL slots. Otherwise, probably don't do it. Isaiah Collier is a fit guy here. I already talked about Cason Wallace. Jeremy Grant is actually a fit guy here. Power forward that scores but doesn't do any other big man stuff. I hate Jeremy Grant, but he's a great fit for this team. Ty Jerome is now interesting, given the injury to Scottie Pippen Jr. If Scoot was healthy, he'd be interesting, but he's not. If Scottie Pippen was healthy, he'd be interesting, but he's not. And the other thing is, at the very end of a draft, when you're punting field goal and turnover, you can look at guys like VJ Edgecombe, who you wouldn't look at in a normal 9-category draft. You can look at Dylan Harper in San Antonio, Cam Whitmore in Washington, who's going to jack up a bunch of shots. Colin Sexton, maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the long and short of it. There's a few guys floating around that fit a little bit better. All right, we got what we needed to out of that one. It was a weird one because I got left with a build that I did not expect to have, and then we sort of chunked our way through it, and we might have screwed the whole thing up, but I don't think it was all that bad. Like, rate, subscribe on the way out. We got more of these to do, so I can't do a long outro, but again, appreciate you guys. Subscription button is the big deal. Also, the Twitter, @Dan Vespris. See you guys soon. We'll do another one of these.